All right, so this probably is going to be my favorite video, and I think also your favorite video. Here is why: because we are going to use a strategy that the biggest world brands are using, and we're gonna use that, integrate that into your paid community. That's gonna allow you to, number one, charge more, number two, have more referrals, number three, have people or members that are just loyal to your brand. I'm talking about the brand. So let's begin with that. This, by the way, I do want to highlight, it's going to be the most exciting video probably, and it's also a video that's gonna make your community stand out completely from the masses, comparing to any competitors. And I'm really sure that there is nobody else actually really focusing on paid communities at such a deep level. Um, and it's just a single thing that you can do and move your community really forward. But there is a but. It's going to be really creative work. Therefore, it's gonna take more brain power. So it's gonna not be easy, but it shouldn't be easy. Then everyone would do that. So with that said, let's begin. So the theme, level three. Let's start with the theory for you to understand actually what we are what we are going to cover. So let's look at two restaurants. We have restaurant one, restaurant two. Which one looks better? Probably this one, because it's kind of themified, kind of like Arabian pirates, Uh, but the bottom line is that one restaurant is good and the other one is great. It was a good restaurant when you left the thought with, hey, they had really good food. Remember, a good restaurant. It's a good restaurant when you have the thought they had a really great food. It was a great restaurant when you left with the thought of, I will come again. The feeling like you were the only customer there, you were the king in the restaurant, it made you feel special. Why there is such a big difference in the aftermath after entering a good versus great restaurant? Change this one. Because the good restaurant had the mindset of, I am in the business of food. The good restaurant had the mindset of, I am in the business of food. Focusing on having great menu, they hired great chefs, made sure that every single food on the menu was perfected, and that's it. The great restaurant understood that they were in the business of experience. Therefore, they focused on creating the most memorable experience for any customer who entered their restaurant, starting from the way the guests were welcomed, to the layout of the interior, to the design of the menu, to the way how the food was delivered, to over delivering the customers' expectations by bringing that extra dessert that guests didn't order, and so on. Again, how do you think, which restaurant will be more successful in the long term? Which restaurant will be able to charge more for their food? Which restaurant will go and get more referrals? Which restaurant will have more repeatable visits from their existing or previous clients? Of course, the answer is the great restaurant, because they understood they are not in the business of food, they are in the business of experience. The same methodology applies whenever you're building your paid community. There are good communities, like first up, there are okay communities, then there are good communities, and then there are great communities. Good communities think they are in the business of info value. Think of courses, masterminds, just transformations. Great communities know they are in the business of experience. Think the branded theme, one identity, fun and engaging experience, products built to enhance the experience. Simply put, good communities focus on the sequence of products and tend to focus on producing more products. Great communities focus on the sequence of experience, focusing on how they can enhance the overall experience to convert members into loyal cult members. And when I say cult, it's not meant in the wrong way, it's meant in the right way. So let's put that aside. So today I want you to think bigger and different. Build a great community, a community that makes people return, a community that's the world's most fun place, the best place in your niche in the whole world. So let's do a quick thinking exercise. Imagine we are building a community for XKJB Spy, Jack Barsky, who is one of our clients as well. Oops, let's do this. And let's just take one of the small parts of the whole basically experience, which is the onboarding. So in the first example, we will build a good community like 99% of the market does, And in the second example, we will build a community that's great, focusing on experience. So remember, this guy, Jack Barsky, his background is secretive. He has been an agent spy. Example one, good community. The member joins, they receive a welcome message and a welcome post. That's basically how most of the communities function. Example two, a great community, spy based team, because Jack Barsky, he was a spy. So probably the keywords are mission, spy, secretive, and things like that. So the onboarding experience looks like this: joins the community, receives a welcome message that, hey, you just got arrested by the authorities at the airport and your passport is lost. Your mission is to get your passport back, because then you're going to be able to escape from the authorities as well. Also, just have your passport. So basically, they are taken on a mission. And the step one to get your passport and get away from the authorities is to go to the welcome post. And the welcome post is an immigration center where they're going to need, as a step two, introduce themselves to get the passport. So you can see right here, joins, mission step number one, go to the immigration center. Then once they introduce, they're going to receive a private message where they're going to receive the digital passport. And then they're going to have step three in the mission. They're going to need to activate it. Otherwise, they cannot escape from the authorities. So the way in which you do that, how you activate your passport, is by referring a friend. Once you do that, your passport is activated. You have escaped successfully from the authorities, and you have also got a bonus for that, which is the signature masterclass. You see, like, the whole sequence is an experience instead of just joins, welcome message and welcome post. Which community, like yourself, if you would be inside like the spying things, agent, espionage, and so on, which community's onboarding experience would you rate higher? The answer is obvious, probably the second one, because not it's just great experience for the members, but what you just did, because the step three is to refer a friend to activate a passport. You got actually just two members, not one member. Voila, that's what really a themified branding does inside community. And again, this was just to give you a perspective of what's possible and how big different we want you to think and approach the development or enhancement of your paid community. Again, this was just one of the pieces of the whole funnel or the experience, which was the onboarding. So the action, let's talk about the action. So great community equals themed experience. This is the hardest task of them all because it's creative. Creativeness requires thinking. Humans don't like thinking. I hope you like thinking, and I hope you like creative things. But anyways, your job is going to not just create a community, but create a team community. Let's look at a couple of examples of communities and brands that have teamed themselves successfully. So again, the same Jack Barsky right here. So, secretive agent life behind the curtains. Then, Japanese anime for anime shreds. There is such community. It's all about Japanese animes, minimalistic life. Then, Apple, people who are different and change the world, or for people who think different, therefore change the world. If you're not 100% sure about your team, not team, but team at the very beginning, that's okay. As we are going to go through the process, you will crystallize your team and tap into a clarity state. Like, you're gonna understand actually what your team gonna be. So, action step number one: pick and implement your team. Make a copy of the team sheet, which is this right here. Make your own copy. You're gonna be able to see it right here. Then list all of the themes that come in your mind. Think about passions, hobbies, movies, movements, and so on. Then make a score on each of them. Like here, you can see from 0 to 10. We have basically four criteria. We have logic, passion, expertise, and demand. So from logic perspective, spy world, 0 to 10. Does it make sense? Yes, 9. From a passion perspective, do you have passion towards that example, which is spy world? Oh yes, I absolutely have. It's 9 or 10. Do you have expertise in that? Of course I have. And is there a demand? you do a market research quickly, type in a YouTube, see the views, amount of the views, comments, and so on. It's like 10 out of 10. And then you compare the other examples. For example, Jack Barsky also could go with Russian military, or Russian military, or Russian country, the grandpa mentor, and so on. But the highest score, as you can see, is for the spy world. That's why he went with the spy world. And it totally makes sense. So then you're going to sum all of the scores together, and voila, pick your winner with the one with the most points, and you have found your team, and stick to that. Think through how you can apply the team in your onboarding sequence, design, and other components of your community. This may take time, but that's okay. But this is really something you can do on weekends, Saturday, Sunday, when you're, I don't know, in nature or something like that. Like really think through like how you can take this team and apply all over your community, throughout all of the competence. So here's a second example of a team, just to give you a better idea. So this is something you can read through because this is a little bit more technical, but we have broken down basically. So we have this one other client who which name is Richard Green. He's a public speaking coach. He has coached Princess Diana, Fortune 500 CEOs, and so on. So there is the first way, basically creating just a public speaking university with classes, regular onboarding, and so on. Basically, not making it stand out. So, but then there is the second option, actually themifying it, going a little bit more from a creative standpoint. So, public speaking university. So we have courses, then we have also feedback loops. So whenever, for example, a member has a upcoming class, or upcoming speech, or they have any other speech, for example's sake, they can post that on a feedback forum in the community. This is right here where you can create different channels right here. There is a feedback, and people can post it and get feedback from the other community members, so they can train in real life, basically. Not train, but just get critique. And then also we have practice, which is happening in the weekly, not weekly, but 2 times per month. We have practice calls as well. So basically, like, you're fully equipped, you have this desired outcome to really become better at public speaking. You have classes, you have feedback where you can get their feedback loops, critique, and then you have not weekly, but bi-weekly practice calls as well, where 3 4 people basically come up on the stage, deliver their speech, and get real-time basically judgment from the founder as well, the community members. So it's like, really, this is the goal, desired outcome, becoming better public speaker, and all of the competence inside the community supports it to become a better public speaker. Then there is also the team. I cannot go into that right now, as that may get a little bit complicated. So complete the action step number 1, which is picking and implementing your team. This may take time, but again, think really this through. It needs to feel right to you, because when it does click with you, feels right, like, you're gonna transform your community real fast from 0 to 100, like 100%, because it's just going to be more smoother experience for the members. All right, go take your shovel and go do the job. This is going to be fun.